and welcome to Moto News Now on the Motocross Network. Don't mind my voice or my stuffiness. I've had a cold the past few days, but we should be able to get through this just fine. Most of this news was out yesterday, but I was waiting on more info regarding the biggest story of the weekend, and that is Aaron Plessinger's injury. Luckily, I waited, and now we got the full update regarding Plessinger. He went to the doctors yesterday and got all the information regarding his injury, so we'll look at that. And then we'll dive into a few more stories, a couple MXGP, a couple here. The video lineup consists of the first story, Aaron Plessinger out for Supercross. Second story, Stark Future secures $25 million for production expansion. Then we're going to look at Seth Hammaker, injury update on him. He had a bad crash, if you remember, in Foxborough. And then the final story in MXGP 1, Nestaan Husqvarna's Lucas Coenen. We got injury details and an interview of him talking about racing with that injury in Pietramurata or Trentino, Italy. All right, let's start with the big one, Aaron Plessinger's injury. This is possibly, it's definitely not the biggest one, but one of the biggest stories to come from Foxborough Supercross this past weekend. It was just such an unfortunate end to such a phenomenal season for Red Bull KTM's Aaron Plessinger. His day ended before it even began in Massachusetts. In free practice, AP had a crash. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the clip, as most cameras are off and most eyes are away during free practice, so that kind of sucks. But anyway, he crashed and later announced that he wouldn't race, citing elbow pain. Plessinger said before the race on Saturday, quote, "Not the news I wanted to report tonight. I won't be racing after a practice crash in session 1. Tweaked my elbow and not feeling comfortable enough to race." So up until late last night, that's all we knew. He crashed, he hurt his elbow, and an update should follow. Unfortunately, the update is not what we wanted to hear, and that is that he will be out for the rest of Supercross at least. KTM announced in a press release that Plessinger had sustained a broken proximal ulna bone in his elbow. The good news is that it will not require surgery. It will heal on its own. The recovery time is looking like roughly 4 to 6 weeks, so hopefully he will heal up in time for Pro Motocross this summer.
Yo! Just wanted to drop in and give you guys an update on my situation here. But yeah, free practice on Saturday. Ended up jumping to the right on the Supercross triple, landed on a hay bale, and yeah, ended up flying into the berm with my arm extended out, and it hyperextended to the point where it wanted to dislocate, but fortunately it did not. Stayed in place. It just chipped my ulna bone, and yeah, so I'm a little sore, a little swollen, but nothing's torn. Don't need surgery. Just no cast, no nothing. So just got to work on range of motion stuff and try and get back on the bike as fast as possible so I can get ready for outdoors. So yeah, that's kind of the situation. It sucks, but in this case, it is best case scenario to where I don't have to have surgery. I don't have to be hung up in a cast or nothing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to outdoors. I'm excited. We got some good stuff coming for the outdoor season, so I'm excited. I will be in Nashville this weekend, so if you are there, come by the truck, swing by. I'll be signing autographs. I'll be hanging out, and yeah, looking forward to a good weekend. So yeah, hope to see you guys there this weekend, and AP out. See you.
Aaron Plessinger commented in the press release saying, quote, "I'm really bummed to not be able to finish out the full Supercross season given I was having my best 450 season yet. Your elbow is just one of those areas of your body that takes a lot of impact when you ride, so I need to do the right thing and let it heal properly with a realistic goal to be back in time for the start of Pro Motocross. The good thing is there's no ligament damage, so healing should hopefully be short and sweet. It's hard to be negative when I'm lucky enough to work with a great team who fully support healing properly, so we should all be back together getting ready for an early start on outdoor preparations in a few weeks' time." In the 2024 season, Plessinger has been at the top of his game in the 450 class, securing his first ever main event win in San Diego. He continued his success with podium finishes in Anaheim 2 and Arlington, Before his injury, Plessinger had finished within the top 5 in 7 out of the first 12 rounds. So this is an absolutely devastating and disappointing way to end such a phenomenal year for the motocross cowboy. Hopefully he's all healed up and ready to battle in pro motocross by the end of next month. All right, before we move on, let me tell you about my sponsor, Blood Lubricants. As you can see, I'm wearing the hoodie. I got a bunch of products in here, but I'm going to focus on one product to highlight, and that is Clutch RX. Why choose Clutch RX? Engine oil. Well, this is their best oil line yet. It prevents clutch slippage and helps extend the lifespan of your engine and clutch. So the next time you're doing your oil change, don't chintz out. Grab the best stuff. I can give you a discount code if you're not sold on it. 25% off site-wide on bloodlubricants.com. Use my code TMN25 to get 25% off site-wide. Go support the guys that support my work. Thank you. All right, second story of the day. Stark Future has become possibly one of the most popular bike brands in the world since its entry into the sport. They've undoubtedly set the bar for electric motocross bikes and really upped the ante in the industry. Basically, everyone I've heard who's ridden one absolutely loves it, so they have something going right, that's for sure. Well, more good news has come from the Spanish bike manufacturer. Yesterday, they secured a 25 million euro production expansion, furthering their ability to meet their growing demand. This funding comes from one of their biggest shareholders, Big Bets. Stark Future's recent agreement on a 25 million euro credit facility with Big Bets is a monumental step forward, providing vital resources to fuel the company's expansion plans and ambitions for their Stark Varg electric motocross bike. This strategic financing not only strengthens Stark Future's position in the electric mobility sector, but also reaffirms its dedication to sustainable and innovative practices. The funds will be channeled into enhancing production capacities, refining manufacturing processes, and propelling research and development efforts surrounding the Stark Varg. Stark Future's founder and CEO Anton Wass spoke on this funding, saying, quote, "We are delighted to strengthen our partnership with Big Bets, a valued partner that shares our vision for innovation and sustainability. This credit facility will provide us with the necessary resources to drive our expansion and solidify our position as a leader in the electric motorcycle market." The partnership between Big Bets and Stark Future marks a pivotal moment of collaboration in the electric vehicle domain. This financial boost empowers Stark Future to transform the off-road landscape, delivering unmatched performance, adaptability, and eco-friendliness to riders. The performance apart in that statement I agree with. The eco-friendliness, not so much, due to the fact that emissions to create so-called eco-friendly electric bikes and or vehicles vastly outweighs the emissions of a generic bike or car. On top of that, the inability to recycle these lithium-ion batteries is a major problem, as only 5% of said batteries are recycled, rendering all of these rare earth mineral-filled batteries junk after, I guess you would call it one use. They put it in one vehicle, and then when the vehicle's dead, it's basically junk. I could go on and on regarding this topic, but like I said, I'm sick, and I'm not going to bore you guys with this crap. Either way, I'm a huge fan of the electric motocross bikes. You don't know how much fun they are until you try it. You got to try one, guys. They are super fun, but I'm just not going to agree with the eco-friendliness statement that they try to push down our throats. But I'm pumped to see Stark Future expanding their company, and hopefully I can get my hands on one soon. All right, before we move on, issue number 8 of my magazine is available for pre-order right now. It's currently being printed, so in the coming weeks, they will be shipped out to you guys and arriving in the mail to anyone who pre-ordered it, or if you're a MagPass subscriber, you'll get it. If you're not a MagPass subscriber, head to my website, themxnetwork.com. Links in the description. You can buy a pass there. If you don't want a pass, you can buy single copies there as well. I got a bunch of leftovers from our previous issues, so single copies will be available for all of them on there as well. Anyway, thanks to all you guys who buy it and support me. Let's move on. All right, the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki rider Seth Hammaker had a big get-off in Massachusetts this weekend and was presumed that he was injured due to the severity of the crash and how he reacted to it, how he got up. He looked like he was holding his shoulder, so we presumed he was injured. Luckily, we got an update via a Kawasaki press release. I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was the day before. I don't remember now because I was trying to hold all this stuff out for the Aaron Plessinger story. Anyway, they released an update on him in a press release, and he didn't sustain any injuries, so he got lucky. The press release reads, after consistent rainfall and winds swept through Massachusetts on Thursday and Friday, Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki rider Seth Hammaker started the day off strong on the muddy track, qualifying 4th fastest overall. As the wind picked up and more unpredicted rainfall, the track became more challenging as the night progressed. Heading into the race, Hammaker secured a 3rd-place start and maintained his position consistently through the race. Hammaker battled in 3rd and 4th position, eventually finishing 3rd in the heat race. In the 250 main event, Hammaker would secure a 2nd-place start until a mistake in the whoops sent him off the bike. Hammaker slowly remounted but suffered a shoulder injury and was unable to continue the remainder of the race. Seth Hammaker said in this press release, quote, I started off the weekend strong in qualifying and the heat race and felt really good about the night despite my few falls and mud bogging moments earlier in the day. I had great starts and felt good until I got sideways in the whoops and went down straight on my shoulder. I didn't dislocate it, but it felt really sore and weak, so we decided to end the race early to prevent anything worse happening. We have the speed, I just need to stop making these small mistakes. Now we need to get ready for the East-West showdown. I'm glad to see Hammaker's all right. It would have sucked to see him sitting out the rest of the season. He's had an up-and-down season, that's for sure, but he has shown us that he is capable of being a top guy. He's gotten multiple podiums this year. But on the flip side of that, he's had a couple really bad performances as well. So, up and down year, but I'm pumped to see him lining up again this weekend. Hopefully he'll be fine and ready to go in Nashville. All right, guys, I've gotten a lot of messages from viewers asking if I had t-shirts or hats available. Well, I finally got that set up. Head to the mxnetwork.shop. The OG collection is now available. That's just my basic logo, basic design. So if you want to support my work directly, you can now do it whilst wearing comfy, premium embroidered products. I don't have any cheap, chintzy stuff on here. It's all embroidered, high-quality hoodies and t-shirts and hats. So if you want to support me, this is a great way to do it. Thanks to all you guys who already bought some. All right, final story of the day. Sorry, my voice is getting worse as I'm talking more and more. The final one is an MXGP story, and that is about Lucas Coenen, this past race in Pietramurata, Italy. Man, I can't even talk. The MXGP of Trentino wasn't the greatest of days for the Nestaan factory Husqvarna rider, Lucas Coenen. Coming into 2024, Coenen was expected to be a title contender in the MX2 World Championship, and he has shown that as long as he stays on 2 wheels, he is potentially the fastest 250 class rider in the world. Unfortunately for him, he has the tendency to lay the bike down, and usually more than once per race. Well, this weekend in Trentino, he was in preservation mode as he came into the weekend with a newly acquired injury. He had a practice crash, I believe he said on Tuesday of last week during a practice ride, and it resulted in some shoulder muscle problems. He didn't get too descriptive. On Saturday in the qualifying race, he couldn't finish the race. It was so bad he had to pull off a few laps into it. But somehow on Sunday, even with the worst gate pick possible, he managed to pull himself together and push through the pain, coming home with a solid 10th overall finish with 10-9 scores. So even whilst being in extreme pain, Coenen managed to come home with just over 20 championship points. This is the epitome of championship preservation mode. After dealing with a wrist injury coming into the season, now the shoulder injury, it's pretty impressive that he's still considered a title contender after all of that. Coenen is now down to 4th in MX2 championship standings, but he's still undoubtedly in the fight. He's only 1 point down from 3rd place Thibaut Benestant, so he's still in the fight. It's early in the season yet, and I think he'll still be a top contender throughout the year. Now, Coenen spoke about this injury and racing with it in Pietramurata. Here's a clip from a post-race interview in Trentino with GateDrop.com.
A difficult weekend. I think you picked up an injury just before the weekend. Can you talk me through what happened?
Yeah, I made quite a big crash in Motocross on Tuesday, and my shoulder isn't good at all. Like they say it's muscular, but I cannot hold the bike. Like yesterday, I tried. And in the quali race I did 2 laps and my impossible, like no power. I tried to save the impossible, so I went out. And I thought yesterday, I said no, I'm not racing tomorrow impossible. And this morning I had like a boost energy. I saw some people, and they didn't think I was gonna ride, but I gave it a go and I put just full of tape to block it, and then one protest, I would say, to make it stuck, and somehow I managed to get 21 points. It's massive for this amateur, but I was truly in a big pain, but I managed to get some good points, and now we know, like I rode already 2nd moto in Argentina with the broken inside of the wrist, and now with the shoulder really bad. So yeah, I mean, I think we showed to everybody that we're really strong, and to get the top 10 with the shoulder injury and yeah, I think we showed everybody how we were. So I'm just looking forward to get healthy and show them everybody.
Like you say, I mean, it looked like you weren't even going to race. You got some big points there. It shows you're a fighter and that you really want this.
Yeah, of course. I work every day for this, so I'm hard on myself. But yeah, I'm trying my best.
What was it like? The track was technical. There was quite a lot of bumps and quite a lot of ruts. Not an easy track with an injury like that.
No, not easy. But I managed to get some, like I said, good points. And the shoulder is it was worse, but I managed. That's all. Yeah.
And just.
I'm honestly amazed he was able to go out there for 2 30+2 motos and manage to secure a top 10 finish. That's incredible. I guarantee once he gets healthy and is back battling for race wins in the latter half of the season, he's going to look back at this race and appreciate the damage control he did later in the season. These are the races you look back at and go, man, I'm glad I pushed through it. It's really helped me now. Anyway, I thoroughly believe this kid is a future champion, whether or not it's this year or next year or when he comes to America. Him and his brother are pretty set on coming to America soon. It's just up to Husqvarna and or KTM, the umbrella company, on when they will come to America. But for now, he'll be in Europe, and he is undoubtedly one of the fastest guys in the world. I think he'll be a title contender, even with this injury. So I'm glad to see he's healthy enough to continue riding and fighting for points week after week. He now has a couple of weeks off until we head to Agueda in Portugal. So hopefully he'll be healed up by that point and ready to battle up front. All right, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Let me know your thoughts on all these topics in the comments down below. Go support my sponsors, Blood Lubricants, and go buy a copy of my magazine if you want to support my work. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.